This is the plaintiff, Edward Smith. He says the defendant, his next-door neighbor of 37 years, who he shares an attached house with, owes him money, which she refuses to pay. Seems their roof was damaged and leaking. The defendant refuses to split the cost of a new one with him. The work had to be done. She didn't care. And here they are. He's suing for $2,500, half the cost of the new roof. This is the defendant, Patricia Danny. She says the plaintiff's roof was leaking, not hers. This guy demanded she pay half the cost of a new roof for his house. He has some nerve demanding payment from her when her roof wasn't leaking. She refused to be extorted by the plaintiff. He filed this lawsuit, and she's here front and center to defend herself. She's accused of not being neighborly.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants had attached houses, and the plaintiff says the roof leaked, and the defendant refuses to pay half. But the defendant says the plaintiff's roof was leaking, so it's his problem. It's a bad case of the shingles.
Thank you, Douglas. Edward Smith?
Yes.
You are suing your neighbor, Patricia Danny, for $2,500 that you feel she owes for roof repair. Now, as I understand it, you share a common wall?
Yes, we do.
And it's a roof over the whole structure. How long have you lived there?
31 years.
How long have you lived there?
Since 1979.
Okay. So tell me what happened here.
Well, this area is called the Valley. It's the middle of the two houses, the flat part of the roof. It's a shared property. And
so how did you know there was a problem?
On October 8th, Sunday morning, I started to get a leak in my back bedroom.
Okay.
So me being a carpenter, I pinpointed the leak pretty good. I cut the sheetrock, felt the wet insulation, pulled it down, and seen the valley part, the flat part of the roof was getting a pretty serious leak.
Okay. Do you have pictures of what you're talking about?
Yes, I do.
May I see the pictures? You have them? Okay, we have them here. Tell me, is this the back bedroom?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you have a picture of the two properties so I can see what you're talking about when you say
Yes.
the valley, the flat?
There's three houses all back to back.
So you made an insurance claim. What was the claim on?
Well, I told Pat if my insurance will pay for the roof, she wouldn't have to come up with nothing at all. But the insurance adjuster came on a Friday, and he told me the roof was wear and tear, and there was no coverage for the roof. The interior damage, yes.
Okay. Above your property is a roof that's like this.
Yes.
And above her property is a roof that's like this. And then there's a flat part that connects the two triangles. And that flat part is how wide? Do you know?
It's about 30 inches.
It's very little. So
Yes,
it's
it is.
really just covering in a flat fashion, which is always a bad idea, but covering, I guess, in a flat fashion, the common wall.
Which I call a firewall.
Okay. You have a leak in your house. You have a leak. So where is that bedroom where your leak is as pertains to your roof? Where is that?
I have the picture right here.
Right. You have a picture of the leak, and I have a picture of the roof. And what I want is for you to connect them for me.
Okay.
So can you tell me where in your house is that second bedroom? In the back, in the middle?
All the way in the back.
All the way in the back. And is it in the center of your house? What's to the left and to the right of that bedroom? In other words, it's squarely under your roof. So why is that middle area impacted?
Because the only way to fix that, there's one piece of plywood that comes down the center. And you got to remove that plywood. You can't cut it in half because there's no way to nail just half into the cinder block that separates the two houses.
So he has to do the whole 30 inches.
So he has to go the whole 30 inches.
Right, but he did her roof.
No, he didn't do the roof. He only went 36 inches up each side.
You only repaired the valley.
I did from front of the
back.
back.
So the valley alone was $5,000?
Half of it was 20.
No, I got it. The valley alone cost you $5,000 to fix?
Yes, he did half of the time.
Can I see the, because I want to see what you have from the roofers.
Thank you, sir.
Did you ever have her consent for this expenditure?
Yes, my roofer asked me for permission to ask her permission so he could go on her side of the valley.
And did you have her consent?
She verbally told me, okay.
And did she verbally tell you that she would pay $2,500?
Well, I told her it was quite possible. I talked to my insurance adjuster on a Monday, and they said I had coverage on my roof. So
she never agreed to pay $2,500?
No, she never agreed.
So why should she pay $2,500?
Because I feel if you look at the complete job, her side got as much treatment as mine, if not more. She had two satellite dishes up there that I believe, were letting water underneath. The water got under.
No, but you can believe that, but do you have any evidence of it? I understand that a leak could be here and the problem could be here. I've had my share of leaks. I get it. But do you have evidence of that? Do you have evidence from a roofer that something she did to her roof caused a leak in your back bedroom?
The insurance people say normal wear and tear.
Right, so that's actually
house.
evidence that nothing that she did affected your roof. I don't know why insurance would ever, see, look at that. Now tell me when this picture was taken.
That's complete work. That's about 2 or 3 days after the roof was complete. I'm up there taking them pictures.
Okay, well, you're up there?
Yes, I'm spraying the roof with water.
How old are you?
60.
Oh, go up there all you want. You can dance up there. What's this? Why is this so dark?
That's the water that I sprayed because I wanted to check if the job was done right.
Well done.
I'm double checking the work.
Yeah. So they went up as far as what? These 3 shingles?
He came. That was never there before. The old roofs, if you look at the pitchinometry, you'll see the shingles never came down.
But so what was there before?
There was just plain roofing paper.
Tar paper?
Rubberized paper, rubberized material. Membrane,
Okay.
I think.
So now, your position, ma'am, is that you never authorized the expenditure, correct?
Never.
Did he ever tell you, well, I want to do this, we both need it, we should look into it?
He talked to me about it, and I said, Mr. Smith, I have no leaks.
Okay.
I kept on saying it over and over again. I have no leaks.
Okay.
And that's what I said.
And, okay, so did he ask you permission for his roofer to step on your roof?
No, he did not.
Okay. And were you surprised to see that the job got done?
Yeah, but that's the next thing I knew is that he had roofers going up on his side of the roof.
Okay, but did you see that they worked on your side of the roof too?
No, I didn't see that.
Do you know now?
Now I know.
Nothing like a lawsuit to alert you. Who are you?
I'm her son, Chris.
Come on up. Did you ever have any discussions with him?
No, Your Honor. No.
Did your brother have discussions with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was that about?
I guess when the leak was first happened, my brother was outside mowing the lawn, and Mr. Smith went up to him and said that there was a leak and that the job was going to cost $2,400, and he asked for $1,200.
Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
And then the job became double that?
Well, in between my friend, our mutual friend of ours that lives down the street.
That you picked could no longer do it because he got into his own trouble. And then you had to pick a real roofer, and the real roofer charges real money. See, here's the thing. Do any of you have your original deeds where maybe they discuss the obligations for the common wall and the common property, anything like that, from which I could discern an obligation to pay this? You know, like if you own a condo, there's certain things you agree to about the common areas. If you share a wall, usually in the deed, there'll be a restriction, a covenant running with the land is what we call it. But it basically puts the first buyer and every buyer thereafter on notice of certain obligations between the two of you. Do any of you have that?
I never obtained my deed.
Okay, so you don't have that. You don't have her saying, yes, go spend the money, I'll go in halves on you. If she has no leaks, on what theory do I make her pay for the job that was done? I realize why you did it, because the guy told you this is how it has to be done. And this isn't the first time there's conversation between the issues on the commonality. What was that about?
Meaning the time in the past?
10 years in the past?
Yes, Your Honor.
So does the defendant have a duty to chip in money since, in a way, it benefited his roof?
I think it will, because effectively he benefited out of it.
He did benefit, but he didn't necessarily agree.
Well, but I mean, if they leave it together, he needs to pay something.
They don't live together. The roof is attached, but they're not like, family.
All right, if he ain't agree, he's not liable to that. He shouldn't be.
So tough luck.
Tough luck.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
A little over 10 years ago, we had a retaining wall in the back that was crumbling, and the contractor, when we had the contractor come out, my mother had a contractor look, he said you should ask your neighbor to split this with you because basically his backyard would have fell into ours. So my mother went to him and he said that, no, it's crumbling on your side, not mine.
Hence the phrase, I have no leaks.
I'm not paying for it.
That's where that came from. I have no leaks. What'd you end up doing with the retaining wall? Did you
I did it.
You did it. And
That's it.
And fine, you did your side, and that was that.
I did it.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Oh, you did the whole thing and you ate it.
And that's it. And I paid for it.
Is that true?
I was never asked by anybody for any money for any retaining wall.
And you never said that my side's not crumbling? It's interesting. It's just poetic is what it is, really. But let's assume that hadn't happened, and let's just assume I've got what I've got in front of me, okay? Here's how it works. You would have to prove to me there's something she did. I can't just tell people, hey, you owe half of what he decided to do. You have to prove that there's an obligation that she violated. And that obligation could either come from her negligent treatment of the roof, but that's all just talk coming out of your lips. I don't have a roofer saying that there's something of her roof that caused your roof to leak. On the contrary, I have the opposite of that. I have, hey, it's just normal wear and tear. So there's nothing she did to cause you to expend this. There's no time she agreed to pay to expend it. There's nothing in a deed that says, oh, we both bought this house knowing that each of us would have to, when there's a problem like this, that both of us have to pony up. Truthfully, there's really absolutely zero that you can point to, and we're at trial today, that you can point to show me why I need to tell her to cough up several thousands of dollars. She just doesn't have to do that unless she agreed to it, she's obligated to do it, or she caused your damage, none of which you've been able to prove. Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff fails to prove his case. Mr. Smith, I'm sorry, but if you'll step over here, you turn around, wrong way.
Okay.
You just didn't have the ammunition. Do you understand what the judge said?
Well,
You may not agree with her, but do you understand?
not really, because
Why not?
this person in 30 years has never done no work on the roof. It's like a car. If you don't take your car for an oil change,
Yeah, but you know the problem here is her roof is not leaking. Yours is.
It was not
Hers
the roof, it was the valley. The valley side of the roof and 3 feet up on the roof.
Yep.
Got all fixed for free.
Well, she should say thank you.
So she should say Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but that's it. Thank you
tried.
very much. Maybe if you'd have brought your lease in, that might have helped. I don't know. You never know. Miss Donnie, if you'll step out here. I mean, he was very nice. If you'll step over here. So you got your valley fixed, okay? Do you feel at all guilty that you
No.
did? No?
No, because many years ago when his mother was alive,
Yeah.
she had a problem with the roof. She fixed her roof. About 4 years later, I had a problem with my roof. I fixed my roof. And there was no
problem.
No problem. She didn't ask me
Yeah.
to pay for her or
Okay.
I asked.
And you did pay for the wall in the back of the house,
Yes,
right?
I
He didn't
did.
contribute to that, did he?
No,
Okay,
no.
so you're equal.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Thank you very
Merry
much.
Christmas. Okay. Thank you. Interesting story. Interesting situation, Harvey. What do you think?
So, Doug, if this were a fence where both sides relied on the fence and one person fixed it, the other person would have to chip in. It ain't a fence, and it's not the case here. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.